Welcome back to Solo Marvel Champion. Today I'm continuing Psylocke aggression through Next Evolution. Today we're playing Mr. Sinister. Setup tells us to set these superpowers aside and to put hope into play. And then when we get to Scheme 1B, it just tells us to remove one of these at random and then put one of them that's left into play. So I'm going to roll a die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one is removed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one comes into play. This is Super Strength. I said it in my Spectrum video. I get Super Strength almost every time. We're going to shuffle these in. That gives him steady, which I don't care about. I don't plan on confusing or stunning him, but it also gives him brute. And there are some cards that interact with brute. This comes in with 1. Now we get to campaign setup. It tells us to gather all of the environments we have earned and put them into play. It then tells us to put teleported away into play with an additional 1 per person threat equal to the number of environments. So this has 3, 4, total of 7. Next, this is going to come in with 4. This is the one I'm choosing for this scenario, just to buff my defense a little bit. Scrambler, Malice, Vanisher, Under Pressure all get shuffled in. Alright. Managing threat in this scenario is really important. So I'm really actually hoping that I can get my detection, which is going to remove threat. It is the only thwart card in this deck. Combat training, I will mulligan. Martial arts training is great. Strength might be good. Mental detection is the one I was talking about. Fluid motion and a Psybo attack. Mental detection can remove 5 from here, only leaving 2. Which is very interesting. I do want to get martial arts training. And I might not even do any attacking this turn. I might just worry about getting all of this threat off the board. So I'm going to keep all of that. I'm not going to keep all of that. I'm going to mulligan combat training, get a flurry of blows. Now, I mulligan combat training because mission prepped won't find that in my hand, but it will find it in my discard. Next, let's get our safe house. Go ahead and draw a card. Sunfire's interesting. And I'm not going to use Team Assembled just yet. So let's flip up. So what's really interesting here is I could clear this off completely. I could really probably clear both of these off completely. So let's start with strength for mental detection, remove 1 threat, and then for each knife I have in play, remove 2 more. So that knocks that one down. Hope can thwart for 3. So that this is gone. I'm going to use a fluid motion to play a martial arts training. This gives me +1 defense, and I can discard it after defending to ready. Let's pop Team Assembled and go get Professor X. I don't want to confuse Mr. Sinister with Professor X. I'm going to do what I did in my last game Use him to ready hope. Now we can remove 3 there. And let's do 1, 2. And as I use those, I flip them both to Katana for Sunfire. Sunfire can knock the last one off, and now, let's move these over a bit. Now, I have a defense of 4, plus Retaliate. And also, now I'm at 4 attack. Both of us can attack for 4. Gets him down to 6, which is a good turn. Of these, I'm going to discard Flurry of Blows because I don't want to confuse anyway. Although it could deal a lot of damage. So you know what? I'm not going to discard that. Let's ready. One, 2. Team building exercise is interesting. And I love Telepathic Suggestion. It's one of the best cards in here, I think. 2 goes on the main. He is going to attack for 2 plus a boost. And I think, yeah, I go ahead and block with Professor. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. The Professor is gone. You get 1 bad card. The villain attacks me. Do I feel like I do a Telepathic Suggestion here because that's also because I have 2 katanas going to deal 4 damage to him. It's very interesting. Yep. Let's use my 2 katanas to Telepathic Suggestion. This is canceled. I have 2 katanas, so that is going to deal 4 damage. Now, I can't just push yet with Sunfire because when Mr. Sinister pushes, he's going to knock this one out. So I think what I do is I thwart and interrupt that thwart by flipping this to Psyknife. This removes 2. And now Sunfire can attack. Yeah, we'll have Sunfire attack for 2. Now, what happens when the push is, I'm going to put 2 on here. Because he only has 1 superpower, and he goes to 17. Now, Sunfire is gone. Rather than attacking with Hope, we thwart again. Again at only 2, because Psylocke's thwart is 2. Let's ready. I feel like I don't need... Oh, I'm not going to ready yet. I'm not going to ready yet. Because I'm going to use these 2 for Cybo attack, which is going to deal 4. Now I'm going to ready. Draw 4. Pressing advantage doesn't do me any good because I don't want to confuse him. 2 goes on the main. He's going to attack, and I think this time I just defend because I'm defending for 4. I'm defending for 4 with Retaliate. So he's attacking for 2, 3 plus a boost, 4, 5. Now, do I want to discard this to ready? I defended for 4, so I do take 1. He takes a retaliate. Let's go ahead and discard this to ready. So I can attack for 4, 8. If I can survive this encounter card, I win on my turn. Attached to Mr. Sinister, when a player would deal damage to him, that player may spend mental. If they do not, they deal that damage to the friendly character with the fewest remaining hit points instead. I think that is 100% fine. That's 100% fine. Okay. So timing does become an issue, but not much of an issue. I'm going to attack, and in response, I don't want to do it that way. Hold on. I've got to think this through, because this turn is predicated on me being able to do a lot of damage. Let's say I can only do 3. 3, 6, 6. So I should be fine if I can use those 2 as my mental. Yep, I'm fine. And actually that works out better anyway. I'm going to attack and interrupt to flip this to Katana. When I would deal 4 damage to him, I'm going to spend mental so that I don't have to deal that damage to Hope instead. So he takes 4. Hope can attack for 4. And I can spend 1, 2, 3 for Flurry of Blows. Deal 2 damage to an enemy for each Psy Katana I control. Deal 2 damage to that enemy. So that's a total of 6, and he is knocked out. So that was Psylocke aggression against Mr. Sinister. It is a fun scenario. You really just have to prioritize threat removal, and this deck really doesn't do that a lot. But it can do it when it needs it, especially when you have Hope in play. This deck wants to rush quickly, and I don't know if you've noticed, I have never had to reshuffle my deck thus far in this campaign, because I am winning about a third of the way through my deck every time. So anyway, please like, sub, comment, do the things that YouTube likes, and I will appreciate it as well. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have a great day.